Personality tests. Definitely one of my guilty pleasures. I mean, who doesn't like to explore what experts have to say about you, what cool or unique traits they have to assign to you, or just to discover vantage points that you have never actually even considered or realized, or even to debunk it all and to dismiss it as a bunch of bollocks and not something that you would agree with or assign to. So I thought, why don't we talk about something that is actually very close to my heart? As somebody who's been labeled an introvert for a good portion of his life, either by people or tests and people, experts behind them, I've had to navigate a world that often values outgoing, extroverted behavior. But let me tell you, being an introvert is not a bad thing at all. That being said, I'm not even sure whether I'm still an introvert and whether it's fair for me to even talk about it. But if you are, let me give you my personal take on it and some really cool personality traits that are commonly found in introverted people, and traits that I have always considered cool.
Oh yeah.
You know, back then when I was most definitely an introvert. First up, we have introversion. As an introvert, I had to direct my energy inward rather than outward, meaning I would prefer low-key environments and intimate gatherings over large-scale events. Being around people for extended periods of time could be draining, and often I would seek out solitude just to recharge my emotional batteries. But that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy socializing or being around people. Quite the opposite. It just meant that I was crap at it. It just meant that I needed to be mindful of my own social energy. Plus, I sucked at large groups. You know, I could never engage with large groups of people and to become sort of the center of the party no matter how much I wanted to. But on the other hand, that can also make you very thoughtful and considerate. You know, you don't speak just for the sake of it. You speak when you have something to say. Another personality trait commonly found in introverted people is high sensitivity. For me, this meant that I would have heightened awareness of my surroundings and strong emotional response to different stimuli. Some people find loud or chaotic environments as, you know, being overwhelming, which may lead to feelings of anxiety or stress. Obviously, this is not something that actually related to me at all, because my problem was that I was just socially awkward. It was always about the fact that I did not have that social skill to be engaging enough to become a heart of a party. If I was feeling overwhelmed, it was because I wouldn't really know who to engage with to sort of heighten my standing, my social standing within any group, within any social gathering. So I had to focus on some other traits, like self-sufficiency, which is another trait that I possessed as an introvert. And you may too. I still enjoy spending time alone because it allows me to focus on my goals and ambitions without any external distractions. This does not mean that I don't value the importance of teamwork or collaboration. I just suck at it. It just means that I need to balance it with the time for myself. And I do really suck at collaboration and teamwork. Then we have one that was really close to my heart, and that's creativity. That is always strongly linked to introversion. Spending time alone can foster an environment that is conducive to innovative thinking or original ideas. Albert Einstein, Virginia Woolf valued solitude as a vital component of their creative process. Introspection is another benefit of being an introvert. Engaging in introspection can lead to personal growth, self-awareness, and a deeper understanding of one's innermost desires. For me, introspection has always been a way to explore my own thoughts and emotions and develop a better understanding of who I am as a person, and in turn develop an idea about how to communicate with other people or how to influence them and how to manipulate people, which I often actually used. But there is this really thin line where you have to consider whether you want to be an asshole or you just want to use it for, you know, good. But what if you're an introvert who wants to engage in more with the world? How do you break out of your shell and connect with others? Well, it's not always easy, but it's definitely possible. I mean, here I am. Here are some of my tips that worked for me. Embrace your introversion. Don't try to change who you are. That's just not gonna work. Embrace it. There's nothing wrong with being introverted, and it's important to actually accept it and embrace that part of yourself as something that is, that those are your strengths rather than weaknesses. But on the other hand, you can always explore and expand your own personality. So find activities that you enjoy and that allow you to connect with people, with others on a deeper level. That's gonna offer you some practice. For me, that's often through shared interests like reading, writing, hiking, sports that I enjoy. Whatever, find whatever works for you and pursue it. Then practice active listening. Active listening is always important. I mean, there was this mob boss who once said,
you go into a meeting, sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room, but you don't want anybody to know it. Let them think you're a dummy, you don't know anything. And they're yapping away, right? It's a big advantage. There's other times when you're not the smartest guy in the room, but if you keep your mouth shut, nobody knows that. They don't know it. So you let them talk, commit themselves. By the time they're finished, then you can become the smartest guy in the room because they told you everything,
Now, introverts often excel at this, as we tend to be more thoughtful and reflective in our conversations. By actively listening to others, you can essentially build stronger connections and relationships. You find more about people than if you just talk about yourself. Also set boundaries. It's important to recognize your own limitations and to communicate them with others. If you need alone time, don't be afraid to say so. Take small steps. Breaking out of your shell can be intimidating, but it's important to start small. Try saying hello to somebody new or joining a small activity group or just saying hi to a new girl in the street, Over time, you will build confidence and find it much easier to connect with others. But what about dating as an introvert? Well, it can be challenging, but as an introvert, I know firsthand how difficult it can be to put yourself out there and engage with others. But it's mostly about your own nerves, which, as we said in the last video, which you can check out here, it doesn't really exist. It's all about you. It's all about your own mindset. One thing that helped me was actually finding common ground with others. Even if you're not the most outgoing person, you can still find people who have similar interests or values. Join a group or a club centered around the activity that you enjoy. Once you're able to push past that, you will understand that you can get through any of those challenges. It's all about changing how you think about things. Like I said in a previous video, everything is about learning and learning opportunities, and studying people is a great asset and great skill. Now, another key aspect of engaging with others is learning to communicate effectively. This can be challenging for introverts who may prefer to think before they speak or to process their own thoughts internally. However, with practice and patience, effective communication can become a valuable tool in building relationships. Start small, practice active listening, asking thoughtful questions. Show people that you care. This can help them show that you are interested and that you are trying to understand their perspectives. Far too many people actually rather talk than listen, so this is going to be your asset. Dating as an introvert can also be intimidating, but it's important to remember that there's nothing wrong with taking things slow. You don't have to be the life of the party to find love. Focus on building strong emotional connections with somebody before actually worrying about grand romantic gestures or impressing them with your social skills. You will always find love if you want to. It's okay to be vulnerable and share your feelings, as this can actually create much deeper bond with your partner. Lastly, don't forget to take care of yourself. It's important for introverts to prioritize alone time and to recharge their batteries, so do so. This can mean taking relaxing bath or whatever you like. I hate baths. Just a note, so take showers, going for solo walks, or indulging in a hobby. By taking care of yourself, you will be able to be better equipped to engage with others whenever you choose to actually spend time with them. Yes, being an introvert can be challenging at times, but it's important that you remember that introversion is not a flaw or a weakness. It can be your biggest strength. Rather, it's a unique personality trait that comes with its own strengths and benefits. And by understanding and embracing your introverted nature, you can actually find ways to engage with others and form meaningful relationship. So don't be afraid to step out of the comfort zone and take a chance on connecting with others. And who knows, you may actually find that introversion that you have struggled with your entire life was actually the key to unlocking a whole world of opportunities and connections.